But I remember commentating for the Fresh Start Cup when Euphoria was just a new team. So I think it is really cool that they have made it so far in so little time.
It really is cool. I know Jack, a very strong flex player as well. Dash going to be probably using Tetras. I think his Tetras are his best weapon, but he's another frontline flex weapon. Scooter Joel, another very strong player, often uses pros. On the other side, LSDJ, kind of a midline support flex.
His custom dually squelchers.
Custom dually squelchers. He's got a pretty wicked dynamo as well. Keta, I know, was warming up his splatter shots a bit earlier. Pixelated Cody, one of the founders of the splatter shot class. He's been playing that as long as they've been out. So we're going to see up and down star-studded rosters. And on Tower Control, the Reef, to start it off, this is one of the most fast-paced and terrifying maps to play it on.
Yeah, it goes quick. It really does. I think what makes it go so quickly is that the map is actually not that big, and the tower path is pretty straightforward.
Well, and I think the other aspect of this map that makes it go so quick is that first checkpoint barely, first of all, it's not exposed at all. I mean, it's in the mid. If you have mid, you're going to get that first checkpoint. And because that first checkpoint goes so quick, it means that every other push after that just becomes that much faster. Even if you only get past the first checkpoint, it's all so compressed. You don't have to control nearly as much area to make the pushes to that second checkpoint. And if you get past that second checkpoint, the walls come tumbling down. It means they're right up in your face, right below your drop down, sharking you there. We will see which of these teams falters first. This really is a map of not being able, you just can't let your opponent get an opening.
Yes.
We'll see which one of them slips up first. And here we go, taking a look at the rosters right here, the teams. And we do see a blaster. I believe that's a range blaster coming out of DJ here. A big believer in that weapon. Both sides bringing a backline. These are two balanced compositions right now, Milana.
Yeah, we can definitely see that that Kunder on Euphoria was building that special right away so that they can support the rest of the team in getting picks to start that first push.
It is, and it does look like First Blood is going to be drawn pretty early still. Neither side going down too hard. It looks like both of the splatter shots have been removed from the map for the time being, as again, both of the sloshers go, and Dash going to get the better of that one. Remember, you can't run away vertically from a slosher. It's going to keep chasing you all the way down.
I already know that.
Oh, yeah. And we see now Pixel here, I know for a fact because he tweeted it, that he has only been playing these backline weapons for about a week. So he said, please be gentle. I do not think that Euphoria cares that it's only been 1 week. They're going to take advantage of that, as that first checkpoint that we talked about falls instantly. And I think they're going to walk this one to the second checkpoint as well.
I think so. And we see that Euphoria is pushing up really, really powerfully into the enemy base so that it doesn't really give Chat a moment to relax.
No, but a great job to Keta there. That time Keta didn't really falter there. Got two picks that he needed to get very quickly that allowed the rest of his team to crash in, and they aren't going to go down as hard as they are. Good job getting a pick right there. That's going to allow them to establish mid control. They have to do this sequentially. Keta went up a little far by himself, wasn't really supported, and did get taken down. They do punish Toast as a result, but they need to establish control of top mid before they're going to be able to get any further.
It's really, really important for this map in particular that you have control of the bridge before you can start making pushes because of that height advantage. You really need that space there to be able to look down on your opponents because it gives you that advantage.
Right, and what's more, you can't really push up aggressively ahead of that objective if you don't have control of mid. It looks like they finally have gotten it here, so now it's just going to be a matter of how can they get Scooter out of the way. They do manage to push him into a little bit more awkward of a position here, but you see DJ stuck by himself. That's not where you want your range blaster to be. They need to find some more picks and support, but right now it looks like Euphoria is just sending one person after another, and they aren't really even going down that many people. There we go. Two finally down here. Maikaru's going to get to push up. Pixel and Keta up in great positions. This is what they need to get started.
And yeah, they're pushing up. They're pushing up real strongly. So I actually think that might be the stop of the push.
Yes.
Euphoria really playing that defense pretty heavily.
Oh, very.
Oh, that tap.
The scariest thing for a Splatling is seeing that laser come out of the charger. The relationship of the backliners that we've talked about so much. very difficult and scary for theirs. We see Pixel opting to use this very early on. A simple jump out's probably going to beat this. Does follow the jump, though.
Wow.
Very wisely there. Not jumping back to spawn that time was Scooter, I guess feeling that maybe they could continue having the position here. But you see the way that Dash and Toast have been moving together there on the front lines. It seems like every time one of them goes down, the other one is there to at least get the trade, if nothing else. And Toast actually kind of just won a 1v2 to allow Dash to come back in. That's probably why they're winning this game.
Yeah. The KA count is probably going to be really, really stacked.
So that's a safe wager here. Maikaru just trying to stay alive right now. They know they need to get the tower back before they can do anything. Throwing their bodies at it won't do that. Pixel has now moved up, but got taken out by Dash, who was ready for it and positioned absolutely perfectly. The baller is going to explode against each other right now, and this is starting to go from bad to worse here as Toast continues the pressure. We do see one more go down, but Jack's sitting up there. They've melted another minute and a half off the clock as we enter the last 60 seconds. Milana, what is it going to take?
I think they really need to get the quads. They need to get the picks. If they don't get those picks, Euphoria is going to run with it.
Don't skip leg day, got to get the quads is what I heard right there. Scooter's up here in a pretty aggressive position because he knows that even if he doesn't get these shots, he can still build up his Ray. And when you just need to prevent the opponent from more or less knocking it out at this point, it's okay for you to sit back on that. You don't have to worry. And you see Toast putting the pressure here on Pixel. That is their counter to Stingray right now. You'll notice it's the only weapon they have that's really going to be able to do a lot against it unless they do get something special going with their missiles. And I mean, this is starting to open up a little bit here.
Yeah,
There's a
I
chance.
thought that was a really strange, a strange Stingray on the side of Euphoria. It came out just a little bit too early, and it wasn't really focused on the tower.
It did. Oh, they have to watch out now. I think Pixel wasn't able to get that pick right there. They need to have somebody go up there, and look at this, just back and forth, pressure coming from all sides. Everything getting thrown at Pixel right now. And dance all you want. You can't dodge everything. But they had a little bit of momentum going there at the end. Sometimes I've heard people, some players, coaches, talk about the type of play you do when your back is against the wall, when you have to make the big push, how you start playing in overtime. Then they say, just play like that all the time. And it's almost like the human element matters too. But you see right there, Toast with 16 KA and 6 missiles. We did say that might be the reason they were winning the game. I would say your prediction came true.
It's probably pretty solid.
I would take a 16. I'd take a 16 any day.
Yeah.
You know, a 10 ain't bad for me.
I agree.
10 ain't bad for me. Handful of specials.
I'll take some assists here and there.
I had the objective a little bit. Get the dub. I'm a role player. I know my role. Clan Blitz, Manta Maria. I like to talk about Clan Blitz maps as 3 types. I've kind of divided them into. There is the rapid fire map, the Blitz map, where you are just so close to the other basket that if you get wiped, the opponent's getting a score instantly. There's the more neutral maps where there are a couple different ways you can play it. We saw earlier on Muscle Forge Fitness. You could go through the front, you could go through the side. It's a little bit more open. You can build some clams quickly. And then there's maps like Manta Maria, where these are the setup, build your clams, and then make one big push map because it is hard to score. But because of that, I think that this map can be a little bit fun. I know it plays a little slow, but that just means that when the tension finally hits and a team finally makes a push, it explodes instantly.
You really have to you just it's like what you were saying before, when you are in overtime and you have to go for it and you just go for it, and you know it's a lot to it's putting all of your clams in one basket.
There it goes. Bang, bang, bang. We got to. I'm retired, everybody. I'm officially retired after that one. All the clams in one basket is going to be what both teams are looking to do right here. As we see the stone face of DJ here, he is calculating a lot of neurons spinning around in his head right now, trying to figure out what he needs to do differently this game. What is that plushie?
I think it's a Blissey.
Man, taking it back. Favorite Gen 2 Pokemon right there, I'll have you know.
It has a lot of HP.
Soft-boiled, everybody. Soft-boiled. This isn't Pokemon, though. This is Splatoon. As we get in now to our second match here of our final set of pools, round 3. Let's take a look here. We all know Clam Blitz, fill the enemy's clam basket. Such a short description of such a wild and terrifying mode. We see both sides opting to stick with generally the same idea, but we do see a Brella, the regular old-fashioned vanilla Brella instead of the Kunder. Why do you think that is?
I think having that, it has a rain, correct?
Yes.
Having, which I think is ironic as a side note because you can't protect yourself from rain with an umbrella.
I think you now see the humor that the developers saw the humor in.
But I think that using that umbrella will give it a little bit more durability to make those pushes into the enemy base. Oh, well, or maybe not.
Well, I mean, give some credit there. Keta did move around, but because the backliner didn't give up that position, they were able to punish really, really hard and get a 3-down situation. They essentially traded 3 for 2 there. That's a trade that you'll take often, especially when you end up getting mid-control out of it, too. And that's something that I feel like isn't talked about a lot from these really good players, is the fact that they just don't give up positions for free, right? Sometimes you'll see somebody get pressured, they'll fade way too far back, give up all the advantage they built, when really they only need to take a couple steps back and make their defense. I love it when players are willing to still hold that position.
And I think that's what makes backliners so powerful because they, even if the rest of the team is down, the backliners are always in a position where they can keep ground, so they don't have to back up so much and the team can jump right back into the action.
You see Maikaru sitting on that power clam right now. A little bit of an awkward position here. We know that the Slosher Deco is the one that has the ball. I would like to see Maikaru maybe give this to somebody else. It's possible that they're trying to just hold on to this for the time being so that they can build up 2 power clams as we see Keta pushing forward and trying to make a big play, and I was about to scream.
I was about to scream too.
So
oh
it looks
gosh.
like, okay, now I start to see some of the wisdom up here. They used the Stingray to open up that pathway to allow Maikaru to move through. Maikaru is going to make him pay for allowing that to happen here. You see they only got the 1 clam out of it, though, so fancy moves aside, that's not going to be a whole lot. And now it's going to be 2 power clams and some change that Euphoria has to work with.
Yeah, and like you mentioned before, this is one of those put all of your clams in the basket maps. So having a push of just 1 clam is probably not the strongest decision that they could have made.
No, it isn't. And Maikaru really needed to find a second pick in that situation to really make that push stick. Otherwise, it was just going to be, it really wasn't a whole lot better than doing it the other way. They are going to get punished just like we said was going to happen.
Man.
And now Dash is sitting in a great spot. The points still come in. And look at that. The clams even spawned right there. They're going to jump in another one here. Still going. DJ gets both of them right there.
But Dash is still there, putting the clams in.
Pandemonium.
Wow.
That you would have died online, and you know it.
Yeah.
Bless land, bless land. 18 more of a push that you're looking for in the opening, and not even losing mid to make it happen here because of the way that they just died in sequence. You see now their Brella's back. They've lost a little bit of mid, but not much at all. A great start to finish push from Euphoria there. If you're looking to become a better Clan Blitz team, take a look at that. That's how it's done.
I think mid control is currently going to Chat, giving a lot of area for that team to maneuver through.
Right. Getting mid control hasn't been where they've struggled. They've really been doing a better job of getting their picks in this map, too. I mean, it's not been that. It's just they haven't been able to execute the pushes as well, and I don't think they've done the best job of shuffling around their clams. That is one aspect of Clan Blitz that I don't really think is talked about a whole lot because, so the clams are obviously scattered around the map, and it's very easy for somebody to pick up 7, someone to pick up 6, someone to pick up 4, whatever it may be. You want to convert those into your power clams as quickly as you can, and the more time you spend shuffling around those clams, the more time you're giving your opponent to build up their defenses and get a little bit of mid control too. And I think that's really been the issue so far. I like the fact that DJ, the midliner, is holding it right here. He's going to be able to paint a little bit, but they're going to need to build clams a little bit faster. You see at 18, it does look like they're heading down that path.
And let's see how strong this push is. Oh, that Booyah Bomb.
Oh.
Taking out DJ just barely.
It was, and that's the worst spot that it could have landed too. It doesn't look like they had a lot of follow-up anyway, but any follow-up they might have had goes away. And again, you see right there, I love the way the Euphoria builds up those power clams and then immediately tosses them back, knowing that, okay, let's keep the people in front moving forward. Let's do what we need to do. Let's shuffle these clams around. 2 more going to go. It's going to knock down their penalty to a lot. Although this was a little interesting of a play to do right here. I think that that was maybe a bit forced too early. Now, they have a huge lead here, so it's not like it's a horrible spot for them to be. But if they'd done this now, the game would have been over more or less. Instead, they've now given them a second chance at life. And I don't know if you want to give players of this caliber too many of those chances. Overtime, let's get it going.
hey, I think the funnest, I don't know if I would call it fun. The funnest thing about clams is that really the game isn't over until it's over.
It is, and Keta actually got a pretty nice trade there. DJ, Spectator Cam, you are scaring me.
Oh, I got scared.
So they're going to get their other power clam to score here too. Mykaru needs to find a pick. Pixel actually misses. Can they pick it up again? It does. It looks like they got that in, but that's all. Another pick. They found more clams here. This is getting really scary.
Oh my gosh. Oh, that's a wipe. Wow.
That is a wipe. Still scary there. They were running out of clams. I think they were going to run out of clams before they ran out of time. I don't think they were going to be able to go back to mid. But you saw there, again, just like in that last game, they had some fight in them there at the end. They had finally started to adapt, started to figure things out. But it just happened so quick. There's not a lot of time to adapt mid-game. You see Toast sitting up there at the top. 3 very crucial ballers to get those scores started, as well as a nice 12K A to lead the team. And now Euphoria sitting in a commanding 2-0 lead. I thought this would give us Game 5. I can't read that. Nobody can.
I can't read that either. But something play. But you've lost hope already for a Game 5. It could still be a reverse sweep.
Not lost hope, but I'm an analytical man, okay?
All right.
I read the analytics, I read the numbers, I read the charts. And reverse 3-0s don't happen very often. And they don't happen for a reason. Typically, if you got down 2-0, you deserved it. It kind of got there. In Splat Zone's Humpback Pump Track, if there was any map that you could mount a comeback here, that you could just throw your specials at the zone and just gut out a victory to get the comeback started, I will say this is probably one of them. This is one of the swingiest and I would say most inconsistent maps in all of Splatoon. If you think of it as, you know, a top tier team versus a tier 1 lower than them, I feel like this is one map where that lower tier team might get the win.
Yeah. Definitely. It's it's one of my favorites. I think it's just because it's so vanilla. But I guess a lot of people could see it as boring. You go in, you take the zone, you build your specials, you use them all together, you come back in.
Yeah, I mean that's the general idea. So let's dive one step further here. The way that you beat that is, first of all, excuse me, there are 3 ways you can go about doing it. You can use your specials to match the opponent's specials when they're coming back in. You can give up the zone, but take out the opponents so that they go 3 or 4 down, flip back the zone again. You take a little penalty, but the opponent gets nothing out of it and you stay control. Or you push up ahead. There is that little jump that you can take on the right side and put a lot of pressure. I think that's kind of risky to do, especially with the way that Euphoria has been playing right now. We'll see what they opt to do here as we take a look at these loadouts. Pixel switching over to the heavy remix here. We're going to see a lot of Booyah Bombs. Both sides opted to bring that one to this battle.
And we see that the Kunder has made its reappearance. Using those armors to get back into the zone is probably not a bad idea. Although, I think if they stuck with a regular Bella using the rain is also not bad.
No, not a bad idea at all, but already one going to be going down here. You see that they've already got them pushed to one side. Mykaru went down. They all went down more or less as we see that last one finally jump out. And you're going to see them opt to build their specials here. Now, I want you to take a look at the top of the screen. There's going to be basically 3 specials ready to match any specials that come out here of Yeah Chat. That is very scary if you're a fan of Yeah Chat.
And getting those 2 picks makes it considerably easier to get.
It does. A bit of it. That was a very ambitious, we will say, jump there by the Clapple Doolies to try to push in there. I'm not sure they needed to make that jump. I think they had a pretty good spot. The Booyah Bomb was already being thrown at that point. That really just gave away the position of their Shark and got both of them killed in that situation. Now we'll see if they can play defense.
I think that armor was used just perhaps a little bit too prematurely.
Good take here. Now, both sides went a couple down there in that situation, so this might not stay where it's at for long. Pixel in a very exposed position and does go down to a very, very well-placed torpedo. That one time that the torpedo doesn't lock onto you and it still finds a way to get it done. How about that?
You can't escape it, even if you think you'd have.
Nope, your only hope is to shoot it down. Speaking of down, down goes the penalty here. We're going to see now just 40 seconds left on the clock, and that does move quicker than the actual seconds on the top of the screen. Not many opportunities as Pixel goes down. They're in a staggered spawn right now. They're going to have to wait, and Maikaru goes down as well. There's too much pressure here. Toast up in them right now, and I think that this is probably going to go down. They don't have anybody even close to the zone.
And that's a double, a
that
triple.
That is.
That's, and I think that's GG. You're right.
3-0 and the handshake, the dirty 30. It looked good there for a little while, but once they took the zone back and got that staggered spawn situation where 2 people are stuck respawning while 2 people are stuck in the middle, there's really not a lot you can do in that situation. A quick 3-0 victory for Euphoria, punching their ticket into top 24. We know that both of these teams were headed that direction anyway, but Euphoria has to feel good with what they did to one of our top-seeded teams, and the best team in their group that wasn't them made light work. Light work.
Definitely. I mean, I honestly think that any of those games could have gone either way. It's just that, yeah, chat maybe didn't adapt quite quick enough.
Part of it is, yeah, it's adaptation. You could say that maybe at the end of the games, Euphoria got a little sloppy too. They were making a lot of very like, let's just end this game mistakes where you go in and you're like,
Yeah.
well, whatever. Let me just take tower real quick. Let's dive in after this power clam. Let's find a way to end it there. So I mean, however you want to slice it there, 3-0 is 3-0, and Euphoria showing why they belong. There were a few people who were, you know, a little bit unsure of, you know, if Euphoria deserved the seed that they got. They don't have a lot of LAN experience. Dash was telling me this is the first time their whole team has competed together at a LAN, and the LAN factor is really real, but, I mean, if there were nerves, we certainly didn't see them there.
Yeah. Yeah, no, they played really, really well, and I think maybe just playing in LAN made them play better.
That is a very real factor. There are people who will rise to the top as soon as that happens. I mean, for some people, the rush of the crowd, the adrenaline, it just makes it that much more exciting. And there's always somebody who just has a serious pop-off moment at these LANs. There are just big, big moments that you don't always see offline, or I'm sorry, online rather.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's why we're here. It's why we play the game. We're here to have fun, yes.
But we're here to win.
And there's some real good Splatoon to be played yet.